Hey guys, so today we're gonna move on from our, well, not move on, but add something else to our phrases and clauses. So we've been talking about how phrases and clauses, phrases don't have a subject and verb, and clauses do have a subject and verb. But there's actually two different types of clauses, and it's important for us to know the difference between those. So I'm looking at your grammar textbook right now. Remember, all of this stuff is in your grammar textbook. All right, and I'm going down to sentence structure, phrases and clauses, and independent versus dependent clauses, which is what we're talking about today. Okay, so I'm going to go to that section. All right, so like I said, two different types of clauses. Both types have a subject and verb. That's what makes them clauses. Okay, but independent clauses can stand alone as a complete sentence. That's why they're independent. All right, so for example, when the bell rang, the class bolted for the door. The class bolted for the door could be a sentence by itself. I could take that out, put a period at the end, capitalize the beginning of it. We'd have a sentence. Okay, I smiled at the new student. That's a complete sentence. It's a clause. Got our subject and verb, I smiled. I fell down the stairs. I could end the sentence there, put a period at the end, okay, and that would be a complete sentence, so that makes it an independent clause. Now, on the other end of this are dependent clauses. So dependent clauses have a subject and a verb, but they can't stand alone. Okay, so some examples: because she was so pretty is a dependent clause. If I just put a period there, that would be a incomplete thought. That's one of those cliffhanger sentences that I used to tell you guys about in 6th grade. I'd always say, like, don't leave me hanging, don't leave me on a cliffhanger. That's when you would just put a dependent clause, and that can't stand alone as a sentence. Same thing, when I rode the roller coaster. I don't know what happened when you rode the roller coaster. Okay, so that can't stand alone as a sentence. All right, and then until her mom gave her ice cream, same thing. I don't know what happened until her mom gave her ice cream if that's by itself. Okay, so it's not a complete thought. It's a cliffhanger. Now, dependent clauses are dependent because they begin with subordinating conjunctions. Okay, so I'm going to look at those. We've previously learned about coordinating conjunctions, which are our fanboys, which join things together. Subordinating conjunctions make things subordinate, which means make things dependent, make them depend on something else. Okay, so I like to call these types of conjunctions our AWOOPUS words. Okay, because the most common subordinating conjunctions form the acronym AWOOPUS. So some of the most common ones, these aren't all of them, but these are some of the most common. After, although, as, when or whenever, while, unless, until, because, before, if, and since. These are all cliffhanger words. They leave us hanging and stop a clause from standing alone. So whenever you see one of our AWOOPUS words, all right, we're usually making a dependent clause, and anything that comes after that word can't stand by itself. All right, we're going to do some practice with this tomorrow, so if you have any questions, let me know.